guys, welcome back to the Style and Beauty Doctor on YouTube, and in today's video I'm going to be doing my makeup, but while I am doing my makeup I'm going to be exposing your secrets. On my Instagram stories I have done in the past a question and answer kind of thing where I ask my followers on Instagram to tell me a secret. Now the last time folks was bearing all. I was like, whoo chow. And a couple people were like, oh my god, you have to do this again because I have secrets that I want to share and I would like to get your advice on. Now some folks have said that I give good advice. As a Virgo, I'd like to believe that is so. But anything you hear me say here, you know, this is just my opinion. You know, and as a Virgo, I think that my opinion is right. But, you know, I don't know the ins and outs of everyone's situation. And I'm just giving my best guess on it based on my own experiences and, you know, the experiences of others that I have witnessed, you know, secondhand. So that said, you know, kick back, relax. We're going to get into some things here, but you know, don't take what I say as like law, because I ain't trying to have you sue me, okay? This is strictly entertainment. I'm just not trying to get sued here. So anyway, let's get into it. So starting off with the Dior Forever 24-hour skincare and foundation, shade 6.5N. Where's my mirror? Mirror on the wall. So these aren't in any particular order. One says I have a crush on, and then she added the person, but he doesn't know me and we live in different cities. I think crushes are, like, I like when I have a crush, but then I also don't like when I have a crush. Yeah, I think that's a cute thing to have, but like she said, he doesn't know me and we live in different cities. I always think that you know, you'll know a guy is interested because, you know, they'll pursue. In a case like this where it's like Instagram, there's little things that you can do. I don't think, you know, like making the first move is always a great idea for us women. Maybe we'll deep dive into that one day. But I think there are things you can do, like you can follow him, you can, you know, innocently strike up conversation. And when I say innocently strike up conversation, I don't mean, you know, slide up in his DMs being all, you know, aggressive and whatnot. You know, playing cool. You know, be like, oh my god, you know. Let me look at this person's Instagram though. I'm not going to tell you guys what the Instagram is because I am sworn to secrecy when it comes to, I take my secrets seriously. And your secrets are definitely safe with me because I'm not revealing anyone's screen names. I think it's going to take me longer to do my makeup because I'm talking. I haven't really mastered this art of doing makeup and talking. Yeah, I think I have enough foundation on. This guy's Instagram is public. So, you know, I would follow him and then maybe like make little comments. No hard eyes, nothing too like crazy or anything like that. But just, you know, make yourself be known, because he doesn't get that many comments on his posts. So if you leave a comment, it's going to be very known. So just leave like very neutral comments. Like if he puts up like a meme, you know, laugh at it or whatever. Because he doesn't get a lot of comments, I think that, you know, if you leave, you know, like 3 or 4 comments, like it'll be very obvious he'll see it. And I'm sure, is your profile public? Oh, your profile's private, girl. You might have to open up that profile, you know what I'm saying? Because then, you know, you make yourself be known, and then, you know, if he's interested, he'll slide in them. I said I already have enough foundation on, huh? He'll slide in them DMs if he's interested, but you gotta make that profile, you might have to make that profile public, boo. Because I know when I see somebody with a private profile, I'm like, but you never know what you're going to get. With somebody with a private profile, they might only post, you know, photos of memes, which I like memes, but I need to know what I'm getting into. Or they might, you know, post like bite-sized pictures of like poorly crafted food. So it's a gamble when somebody has a private account. So make that account public and, you know, be casual with the comments that you leave because he's going to see them. Because, you know, he doesn't get many comments on his posts anyway. So this Ghanaian man loves me. I just want him to pay some bills. I'm actually not mad at a bill paying situation, but any situation like that, like I'm not a fan of situations where one person thinks a relationship is one thing and the other person thinks it's something totally different. I just think that's very unfair. If he loves you and you're just trying to get some bills paid, I think that's not nice, girl. Don't do that. But if he's okay with, you know, a one-sided relationship where he just pays your bills, then there's also a thing like karma. And I don't mess with people like that because I'm like, ooh, karma comes hard, and I would not want to be in a situation where like I'm deliberately duping someone or making them believe one thing when it's not really true, you know? So if he's okay with it, fine. But if not, that's just not right, girl. But like I said, I ain't mad at a bill paying situation. Just make sure the person, you know, is into it. Okay, next, I secretly want to have a threesome, but I ain't got nobody and don't want to die from diseases. I would think that you're not ready for a threesome then, because that takes not that I know from my own personal experience, I've not done that. It does take a certain mindset to do something like that. And I would give yourself some more time. I'll just say that. You just need more time, Pooh. It could be a phase, you know? But one reason why I was like, you know what, let me film this, because normally I would just answer this on my stories. People chime in, right, when I answer it on my stories, but nobody can see what you're chiming in because they're in my DM. So it's just me and you having a private conversation about, you know, this subject. So that's another reason why I wanted to film this in an open format, because then, you know, other people can chime in. So if you have, and please be respectful and nice. Like I delete nasty comments. I ain't for that, so don't even bother to do it. But please, if you want to respectfully chime in for some of these, do so in the comments below. So if you have experience with the subject matter at hand and you would like to add in your 2 cents, please feel free. Funny thing is, I have a brand new primer potion, but look, honey, you gotta get every little ounce of this makeup. You paid for it. I don't even think I paid for this, but I still want every little ounce. I don't know what I'm gonna do with my eyes, but I'm gonna start with ginger. Just trying to hurry up and sweep this on before the primer dries. I'm gonna go in with pinker. My friend's dad wants to be my sugar daddy. Wow. Listen. Ain't nothing, look. If I can give me a little money situation, no frills money situation set up, by all means. But when it's your friend's daddy, how close is this friend? I'm using credit. How close is this friend? Will it mess up the friendship? Because again, like the karma, you know, you gotta watch out for that karma. Karma being hard. I shouldn't have married my husband. So if this is a situation where it's like it's safe for you to leave, like maybe it's like you realize that you don't love him as much as you thought, or you rushed into things, or, you know, you'd rather be by yourself, or you'd rather be with someone else. If it's a safe situation, I do think that, you know, that's something where, you know, counseling and, you know, talking with your husband and, you know, talking with a professional will definitely help. But if it's a situation where you are in danger, I'm going to put on the screen some resources, website, telephone numbers that you can call where you can get help, because, you know, we don't want you to be in a situation where, you know, he can be of physical danger to you. And, you know, we want you to be able to get out safely. So please, if that is the case, please make sure you check out those resources, and please be careful, because unfortunately a lot of us Black women, you know, are victims of domestic violence, and it's sad. So please make sure you check out those resources. My 10-year-old best friend, her dad is digging me. Is he married? Because I'm like at 10 years old, you know, they ain't gotta know. They ain't gotta know what, you know, mommy and daddy are doing. If he's single, if it's, you know, no drama situation, I don't see what going on a little diggity date won't hurt, you know what I'm saying? Nah, but for real, like if he's single, go for it, girl. If he's single and you're digging him too, and you're single, go for it. Someone said no secrets, but this is great. Someone said, I had a baby at a young age and I love him to death, but sometimes I find myself dreaming of what my life could have been if I didn't have him. Going in with doulas with my pinky. I like to, you know, say that life is lived without regrets. I like to think that things happen for a reason. You know, your son was put into your life at an early age to teach you things, and I'm sure there's a lot that you've learned, a lot that you've gone through that makes you a better person. But I'm sorry, I'm just getting over a sinus infection and a little tickle in my throat. But I do think that, you know, now is a great time because you probably spent so much time raising your son that you didn't really get to do some of the things that your friends were able to do when you were younger. You know, people like to think that like by a certain age you shouldn't be doing certain things. Like, I'm just like, look, man, F that, do what makes you happy. Like, what are your hobbies? See if you can find out what interests you. You know, look for like extracurricular activities, join a gym, go to classes, you know, put yourself in situations where you meet new people, you know, maybe write down a list of things that you would love to do, like kind of like a bucket list. I would also say to do a vision board. Vision boards are very helpful. Also reading the book called The Secret, because thoughts become things. I have been riding out of here on positive thinking, becoming positive things and positive, you know, great positive things actually happening in my life just because, you know, I thought positively. And that I got that from reading The Secret. So don't think that, you know, it's too late for you, you can't do certain things. You can, you know, there's people getting their second wind at 60, 70, 80, you know? Okay, so I used Urban Decay Perversion to line my eyes, and I'm just going to, and I did my mascara, and I'm just gonna lightly smudge underneath so I can get that bottom smoky dokey. Okay, so next, Secret, my boyfriend, whom I love, and she put love in all caps, just doesn't do it for me sexually, and I'm dying inside. Listen, sex is very, very important in a relationship. Is it something that you've brought up with him, you know, and you gotta be careful how you come at this kind of subject. But no, you definitely don't have these conversations while you're, you know, in the act, you know, you're in neutral time, neutral place. Like, if there's something, sometimes you gotta use positive reinforcement as well. Like, is there something that, one thing that he does do well? Like, you might, you know, lead the conversation by bigging that up really, really, like, a lot. Like, ooh, honey, you know, when you do that thing, you know, when you do the alphabet, you know, I really like that, and you make me feel like, ooh, wait, but you know what else you can do? Like, you know, have a conversation like that. But if he's just like a lost cause and like not listening and not even trying to like hear you at all, no matter how many like, you know, nice ways that you go at it, then you're gonna have a decision to make. Like, you're gonna be in this, you know, relationship much longer. You know what I'm saying? I'm in love with a face-tatted crazy man, but I'm a curly-headed corporate black woman. Thank you for being so descriptive. If you are in a field where, like, you know, getting ahead is not just with, you know, what you do at work, but it's also involves like interpersonal relationships. Because, you know, there's some company cultures that are like that. Like, you know, if you go golfing with the boss on the weekend, like, you might be more apt to get a promotion or what have you. And, you know, sometimes there's some jobs you gotta like socialize to really like get ahead. Sometimes you don't even have to be that great at your job. If people like you, like, you know, things happen. And a lot of times where people are able to relate to you is through like, you know, a significant other. The face-tatted man, you know, he might not be received very well depending on your office culture, But if he's got a great personality, you know, maybe people might see beyond that. Well, it depends on how serious you are with him. If it's you know, somebody you're not, well, you said you're in love. You said he's crazy. Girl, how crazy is he? Like, I need more information. I don't know. I just kind of feel like, you know, if you love someone, you just don't treat them bad. But yeah, certain, oh, this is hard. Because certain, you know, fields, certain industries, like, you know, who you're married to, you know, the kind of car you drive, you know, the clothes you wear, things like that. Like, it's unfortunate, but people really do judge you, and it does affect you. If he's a crazy tatted, face tatted guy with a good attitude that people love, I feel like, you know, you can get by. Then, you know, maybe the face tattoo can be overlooked. I ain't gonna tell you it's gonna be easy, but, you know, proceed with caution, boo. Okay, there were a few that I started to share on my story. I'm crushing on a trainer at my gym. We are friendly, but I don't know if he's single or not. So I basically said to play it cool, let him talk to you first when you see him. If he's interested, you'll know. Then you'll find out if he's single. Me, myself, personally, I wouldn't go asking if he's single without hard clues that he's interested. Ain't nobody trying to mess up that good gym time, and I mean that. Like, seriously, when guys are, I truly believe, and, you know, people may think this is old-fashioned, but, you know, whatever. And I think it's beneficial to read a book called The Rules, which also may seem a little old-fashioned, but again, I still, you know, this is me, you know, this is what I'm thinking. When guys are interested, they will show you that they're interested. You know, they, like, my homie Kayla Walker put on her story, not her story, she put up a post saying that, you know, don't, well, let me get her quote. So Kayla said, "Sis, trust me, do yourself a favor and take mixed signals as a no. Also, don't text your ex. And you know that one who isn't your ex, but you felt something for him despite the fact that y'all were never official? Don't text him either. Thank me later." I truly believe that when men are interested, they will let it be known. They will pursue you. They will hunt you. That is their nature. They are hunters. I would take any kind of, I think a lot of times as women, we waste time on men who aren't interested when we could really be focusing on, you know, being around the men who actually are interested and actually will do the hunting and the pursuing. I just feel like we waste so much time, myself included, of course, you know. Whew, the time I have wasted. I feel like a lot of us waste time, and then our girlfriends kind of also encourage us to waste time sometimes, like double thinking and triple thinking and overthinking, like what a guy's behavior means. And, you know, if a guy likes you, he's going to pursue you. So when you read that book, The Rules, it's basically like the best thing ever. No. I just see it as a guide to weeding out bad men. Like the men who are just going to waste your time. And, you know, you don't want to waste your time. You got things to do. You know, if the guy's not interested, fine. That's fine. Thank you. Next. Move on to somebody who is going to pursue you. So a lot of times people are like, oh, you know, just make the first move. He's shy, this and that and the third. Nah, yo. Not at our age. Maybe if we were like 13 in junior high or something. But not at our age. They'll figure out a way. I also kind of feel like, okay, with this specific situation with the trainer at the gym, when there are situations where, like, places you gotta show up all the time, I tread lightly because, like, for me, I go to a gym that I really like, and I don't want things to be made uncomfortable for me because I really like the gym, and I do not want to have to, you know, be in there all in some awkward mess, you know? So I like to tread lightly. Now, the thing with the trainer at the gym is when you walk in, I would let him say hi first. Like, I would always let him talk first because the thing is, like, some of us mistake people's friendliness when, like, that's their job. So you might be thinking like, oh my God, he really likes me because, you know, he's so friendly. But it's like, they're trainers. Trainers are trying to get you to sign up for, you know, training sessions. Like, they got sales quotas and stuff. Like, they're at a place of business. They got to give customer service. You can't confuse customer service with, like, flirtation. When a guy likes you, there'll be clear signs. Like, he'll ask you out. He'll ask you for your number. Like, these are, like, clear signs, you know? Say nothing. Let, you know, he says hi, you say hi. Now, of course, you're not going to be, like, you know, a nasty, you know what. You know, if he says hi, you know, you be playful, you be fun, you be your usual charming self, but you are not going to be like throwing yourself at him making the first move. Hey, it's me in editing trying to break it on down. Basically, the making them work for it is a dusty repellent. There's a lot of dusties out here who, you know, want to do the least but get the most from you, and you don't want that. So by making them work for it, making them make the first move and letting them pursue you and chase you, dusty repellent, because dusties don't like to do work. So that's how you weed out the dusties from the nice guys. And if you don't believe me, there are plenty of male relationship coaches. I don't know what genre they would fall under. There are a lot of guys out here who give women advice. Now, you know, be careful because a lot of them be trying to get you to sign up for their, you know, courses and pay money and whatnot and all that other stuff. But essentially, if a man is interested, you will know. There will not be any like confusion or anything like that. If there's confusion, do yourself a favor and leave it alone because he is filled with drama. There's a lot of these guys out here that are filled with drama, and we off that. We've been off that, but we definitely off that in 2020 and beyond, because we ain't got time to be wasting. Hey, my ex gave me an STD and wants me back, and I'm considering it. I started to answer this on my Instagram stories, and I realized I'm like, I need to like talk this out because that'll be a lot of typing for me to do, and then there's not enough space for me to like really say what I want to say on Insta stories. Some of the stuff I just realized I forgot to tell you what I was using. I'm gonna link you to an Instagram post where I list like stuff that I typically use all the time, which is what I basically just used, and a blog post that shows what I use to highlight and contour, so check that out. That information will be in the description box along with any other pertinent information that you're thinking like, oh, I wonder where that's from. It's gonna be in the description box. Back to my thought. I like to talk to black women, young black women, black girls, you know, older black women, young, old, and you know, everywhere in between, as delicately as possible, because I feel like we don't get that often enough. Like, you know, people talk to us rough, we talk to each other rough, and it's just like, ugh, just be kinder and softer. Now, baby girl, I want you to want better, you know? You are worthy of so much more. Now, while some STDs are, well, I don't even know if I could do this whole spectrum of STDs thing, because I just feel like any guy that was not careful enough with you, that he exposed you to a disease, I don't think he's worthy of your time. He wasn't worthy of your time then, and he's definitely not worthy of your time this second time around. Don't consider it. There are way too many fish in the sea. And that's another thing. A lot of us operate as if there's like this big scarcity when it comes to men. And like, you know, a lot of it is like understandable because you keep hearing all of these statistics like, you know, there's this amount of black men, and, you know, black women with educations and great jobs aren't getting married, and this and that and the third. And, but, you know, like you listen to these things enough times, and then you throw colorism into that. You listen to it enough times, you're like, I can understand why some people may think like, all right, let me just hold on to whatever the little piece of man I got because it's rough out here. Now, let me tell you, as someone who, I love myself a lot, maybe a little too much. No, but seriously, like as someone who has been single a lot, who, you know, finds joy in doing things by myself and, you know, finds joy in cultivating female relationships, finds joy in, you know, platonic relationships with, you know, men, and just finds joy in life in general, you know? Being single ain't bad. I don't know why people think like, you know, being by yourself is like some big death sentence, right? So here's what I want you to do, right? And I know I'm reading into a lot of this because you only gave me like one sentence. But you know, I want better for my sisters, younger, older, what have you, you know? What I want you to do is run. Leave him alone. I would not consider him at all. He sounds bored, and he sounds like he's wanting to, you know, quench that boredom with you. And he knows that, you know, well, I was able to get over on her the last time. This is the Guerlain number 8 ebony bronzer that they foolishly discontinued. Yeah, he's kind of like, well, you know, I got over on her once. She'll let me get over on her again. Girl, don't let him do that. So what I want you to do is to find comfort in being by yourself. There is nothing wrong with being by yourself. Like, take yourself out on dates. Some people feel that like going out and doing things by themselves is like the scariest thing in the world. It does not need to be, but you know, take baby steps. Maybe you might go for lunch at like a cafe or something like that. Then you maybe go to the movies by yourself. Then maybe you do like a dinner by yourself. Then maybe you do like a small local trip by yourself, like maybe you do a staycation in your city, like you stay the night in a hotel or something by yourself in the city. Like, do little things for yourself, get to enjoy your company. I think that's important because you can't go into a relationship thinking like that other person is going to make you whole. You already gotta be whole yourself. But I do think that you need to center yourself, spend more time by yourself. I think that you should really take a break from dating, period. Get to know yourself. Find some hobbies, do some self-exploration, you know, and by self-exploration, I mean that in every sense of the word, like finding new hobbies, but also finding yourself, if you know what I mean. Masturbation is very important. I just feel like you really need to spend some time getting to know you and love you because you're about to like, you're considering someone who put you in a bad situation. You're considering getting back with them again. So I really want you to do better for yourself and date yourself and run from him. Like, run. Struggling with hair loss and I need to shave my head again. I'm sad AF about it. But when I had some bad hair loss, to this day I don't even really know what happened. I think maybe the way one of my stylist assistants braided my hair down for a weave didn't take very well. Like, my hair was just like, nah. And it just was like, nah. So when I took the weave out, there were a whole bunch of like patches of hair missing. Was it this side? I can't remember what side it was, but the devastating part about it was that I had just signed a campaign with a hair brand, and it's like, yo, I can't be out here with patches of hair missing. So I went to my stylist and I was like, look, what we gonna do? Like, both of us at like the same time was like, shave the side off. So I was like, oh shoot, we on the same wavelength. After I did that and then had to like wait for it to grow back in, which I have a blog post that tells you how I grew it back, so make sure you check that out. After that experience, I was just like, look, man, it's just hair. There are so many advancements when it comes to like wigs and, you know, all kinds of different hairstyles. And we have so much access to, you know, things like Pinterest and, you know, platforms like YouTube where people with like similar experiences share what they do, that I feel like, you know, you don't have to feel alone when you're going through some of these hair things. One thing I will say is make sure you have a good dermatologist. I just went to a media day where, you know, members of the media, like me, were invited to a luncheon, kind of like lunch and learn kind of thing with a bunch of dermatologists of color, and I had some really great conversations with some dermatologists. I'll put their names here on the screen, and I'll try to remember to put it in the description box as well. But of course the names will be up here of two black female dermatologists that specialize in hair loss. They're not the only two. There are a lot of them out there, but these are two that, you know, I just recently spoke to, so you can use that as like a springboard because they may not even be in your area. And they one of them has an Instagram account so that you can kind of like follow along and, you know, get tips and advice and stuff like that. Now, the reason why I say make sure that you have a good dermatologist on your side is because there are a lot of new advancements that I just learned about that they can do to get back some of that hair loss. But early detection is like the best thing for it. But if you have to shave it off again, I understand that like how traumatic that can feel, because it's like, oh, I finally got my hair to, you know, a certain you know, degree, and then I have to start all over again. But kind of look at it as like a new fun adventure. Like, how many cool things can you do with, you know, short hair? You know, get on Pinterest, pin a bunch of different, you know, short hair inspo pins together so you have some inspiration. You can play around with a lot of accessories, hats, earrings, scarves. There's so many really cool things that you can do just so that you're not really like dwelling on hair. Next secret, I hate my boyfriend, but he got money. How much money he got? I'm not against a give me some money situation as long as like both parties are privy to, you know, that's what it is. But if this guy's like, oh my God, I love this woman and I'm just giving her money, and you're like, I hate him, but he's giving me this money, then you know that's not fair, girl. So, but you do with that what you will. My ex is my bestie and I'm seeing someone seriously, but I want them both. Listen, I think that it is important that when you're dating that you date a lot. Like, don't put all your eggs in one basket up front, because I kind of feel like that leads to you putting unrealistic expectations on what the situation is. It may not even be a situation yet, and you already got like all your eggs in one basket because you're not dating other people and, you know, seeing what else is out there. So I'm always a person who is always going to be like, you know, date around. See what you like, see what's out there, see what your options are. But when you get to a point where you're in a serious relationship with someone, you know, that's kind of hard, because unfortunately in dating, people's feelings are going to get hurt no matter what. Even if it's like the right thing, you know, you're doing the right thing, someone's feelings can still get hurt. So these are like, unfortunately, the casualties of dating. But when you're in a serious relationship and then you find yourself, and then your ex is your bestie, so you're probably around this person all the time, so things are, you know, happening and whatnot. It's not fair to, it's just not fair, you know? Like, again, there's that thing, karma. I'm always scared of karma coming back to me in certain situations. So, in this situation, not that you asked me for my advice anyway, but you gotta be fair. Like, is the person that you're serious with open to having an open relationship? If that's the case, then, you know, go for it. But if not, then you know, you're being selfish, and, you know, I think the noble thing to do would be to break up with the boyfriend so that you can explore other options. And I realized there was another secret in there that I definitely wanted to address. So here's the secret. So she says she's 25 years old. And she's worried that she will not find someone to spend the rest of her life with. Now, sweet pea, sugar dumpling, let me stop. You're a grown woman. Let me not treat you like that. But in your 20s, I believe that you are to date a lot, date often. I personally would not recommend getting into a super serious relationship in your 20s. Maybe at like 28, 29. But even then, I'm still kind of like, it depends on your life experience. At 25, I do think that, you know, your life really hasn't started yet. Like, you've only been an adult for 7 years. Like, can you imagine being 7 years old being like, you know what? I don't think, like, you know, I'm going to get into, you know, high school or college. Like, come on. You got your whole life ahead of you. So here's what I want you to do. Not only are you to date around and date often, because you'll get to know, you know, what you like in a partner, what you require in a relationship. You'll get some, like, you know, experience. But I also want you to date yourself, because you don't want to get into any situations, and this is where a lot of women, no matter their age, kind of wind up messing things up for themselves. Is you get into a relationship thinking that the relationship is going to make you whole, when you got to come as a whole person into that relationship. So I want you to date yourself, take yourself out, You know, find some hobbies, meet new people, and that can be, you know, platonic friendships. It can be other female friendships. It can be, you know, friends with benefits, you know. Get to know yourself. Have fun. Your 20s are about having fun. Your 20s are about making the mistakes. And then, you know, as you get into your 30s, you know, you're a little wiser because you've learned from those mistakes. But at 25, I don't think you should be worried about not meeting someone to spend the rest of your life with. I know culturally, sometimes that can be hard because, you know, certain cultures do kind of, you know, pressure you to be married to someone. But look, sometimes you got to be like, look, man, I got to do me. Go on, make your mistakes, have your fun, date around, date yourself, get to know yourself, do some sex. Well, yeah, sex. Self-exploration. Get to know yourself, have fun, be safe, you know, protect yourself. And girl, you're only 25. Like, you got your whole life ahead of you. There are people who find love and happiness for the first time, the second time, the third time, the fourth time, the fifth time, you know, well into their 40s and 50s. You got your whole life ahead of you, boo. Okay, boo. We'll see if we make this a series. It depends on the type of secrets people want to share and how much liability I want to have myself exposed to, because y'all not going to be out here suing me for giving advice. My advice is to be taken with a grain of salt. Although as a Virgo, my joints be spot on sometimes, but still, take it with a grain of salt and, you know, make sure you do what's right for you. But what might be right for you may not be right for some, no matter wrong. Anyway, follow me on social. The links will be in the description box. And I'll see you fine folks in my next video. Bye, guys.